Let's fix this. Okay, we good? Looks like it's doing better than last time. Okay. Good evening. Don't put your feet up, Greg. That looks unprofessional. Um, it's been a long time since I did one of these videos where I'm just talking about like what I've been through and what I've been thinking of. But I think I should do some sort of update or something like that. You don't have to watch this video if you don't want to. I'm all for you leaving. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just going to talk. For the past 3 years, I've felt like I've been having some kind of a crisis just in managing this channel because my life has changed so much and I don't know if. And I've been trying to get the channel to change along with it. But really, in a sense, it's kind of stayed the same, but it doesn't feel that way. It's complicated to understand, and I'm tired. At the time of me recording this, it is 2:28 a.m., 9:25, because... Oh, and this is my second take. I fucked it up the first time. And, I am tired because I got home from work, and I am the best dishwasher at my job. I am proud of that. A year ago, I was working as a phone salesman and worried about, and hopeful for the future because I had just moved into this house, thankfully. And a year from that, no, that's wrong. My bad. A year ago, I was working at a grocery store. Yes, I was working at a grocery store a year ago. After a Great Depression befell me after I left my job. And the year before that was the phone sales representative. And a year before that, I was living in my parents' house, yes. Sometimes I feel like my mind is failing me, and I have to struggle to catch up with it. This is normal. I'm used to it at this point. It's patient work, but I do it. No. I felt like I've missed something that helped me do videos when I was younger, and I've lost that gift, but common sense, the logic that prevails within me when I process myself upon these questions, it tells me that I have not actually lost anything. My mind has just been clouded with other things, other responsibilities that I have suddenly gained upon becoming a full-fledged member of society. Albeit unwillingly, admittedly. I was afraid. There was a time when I thought that I was going to be homeless, and I was living with my sister in her tiny apartment with barely any space, and I quickly had to learn how to be a good guest. I was not the best person, I suppose. I tried, but I was going through a bunch of stress. And then when I was working in phone sales, my grandfather died, and it was the first real death that I had experienced in the family. And I think that messed up my mental health quite a bit, and I started failing at being a sales representative, albeit I was never quite good at it to begin with. And then, in the midst of all of this scrambling to survive, the 9 months I spent trying to find another job after that, when I left, finally, after being berated by my boss for months. I think that's where I feel like I've lost the ability to make things. But I've slowly been regaining that. Life is better now. I have this place. I live here with my brother and my sister. In an actual house where we all have room to breathe. I have a good job that I do well at, and I'm thinking of becoming a manager there later on. And I have great friends that I can talk to every day. And what's more than that, I even have a very good love life now, which I am very, very happy for. Things are much better than they were even when I was at home. This is truly my home now. But there are still times when it feels like I'm just staying here for a temporary time. Like it could all be taken away. I wanted to become a YouTuber, and I still want to become a YouTuber because I feel like I'm creative. I have a good mind for creativity, and I want to be good at making things and making people laugh and bringing joy, teaching people whatever. I want to make the world a better place, and this is with my performative abilities. I think that this is the best way that I can if nurtured properly. But along the path of which my life has taken, I think something went wrong. And now I need to correct it. No longer do I have just this ability to create. Now I need to nurture the ability to make things. Just in general, the ability to do things. And finally, I seem to have gotten a handle on that. My abilities suffered quite a lot because I entered a negative cycle of partial doubt and worry about why I was not creating, when it was actually the case that I just couldn't bring myself to work. Sometimes I still struggle with it some days, but I've been getting better. Having a good job actually helps nurture that ability. I believe. It started getting better when I went back into the workforce because I was just being productive in general, and that, I believe, nurtured my ability to actually be productive outside of work as well. I'm proud of this. It feels like I'm talking to myself right now. This is natural. I do it all the time. But occasionally I get the sense that I'm talking to another person right now when I recognize that this video is going to be posted online. I still am not used to that feeling. And you'd think I would after about 4 years of being a creator of entertainment. I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting with myself. But I know that every time I fight with myself and every time I succeed, even by a little bit, it gets easier to win again. It's an eternal war. One that I revel in because I know that I am getting stronger. That sounds so stupid when I say it out loud, but I don't know, I get power trippy. When I think about myself, it's one of the things that keeps my ego high. I need to make sure that I do not oppress others if I become an actual respectable figure. I need to make sure that I never hurt anyone. That is another thing that I'm worried about. That I'll abuse power that is given to me. The fact that I worry about it is a good sign. Going back to executive dysfunction and doing things on YouTube and that sort of thing, I seem to have gotten past that. Thankfully, I can actually do things now. I can start working on stuff. But my new thing seems to be continuation of the old problem, which is creativity. Just finding ideas. And what comes with that is funding and work ethic. Prices to be paid, either an effort of my part or effort on an editor's, translated into funds. Thankfully, I have my good friend White Star. He and I will be working on a channel trailer that will replace the old one that I made when I was still in my sister's apartment. It is quite outdated. Well, she and I are not exactly friends anymore. We have long since sort of parted. We don't. Most of the people that you saw me interact with in those videos are gone. Only popping in from time to time after a few months or so have passed or so, as friends usually do with age. This I am comfortable with, thankfully. I wonder sometimes how they're doing. But I'm happy that they're alright. And I know they're alright. I have checked occasionally when I think of them. I had a conversation with an old editor of mine several years ago, which prompted me to fire him basically, because it was an argument about whether people watch YouTubers for their personality or for their art for their videos. And he actually he actually said that it was that people watch things only for the videos, and that I was a fool to think otherwise. And I arose the point that plenty of people will follow a creator no matter what they do. No matter, I should choose my words more carefully with that. Not no matter what they do. Of course, if they do something abhorrent, then they're going to leave. I can think of plenty of examples of that, but no matter what they do with their content, I mean, people like people because of who they are. At least that's how I view it. I like creators because they seem interesting. They seem to have great perspectives on what they do and why they do that. And a lot of times that can offer insight into my own life on how I should approach certain problems and find solutions to these, while also learning from the mistakes that they have made. It is one of the great things that I actually value out of YouTube, by being able to observe all of these different people, even if they are just a facsimile of a person, a portrayal of an idea that they have put forth. I can still learn from that because I can see it as a shadow of the mind that created it, a shadow of the whole. Anyways, I was right to not work with that creator. He turned out to be a horrible person. Like, genuinely abhorrent. I won't go into it any further. But I say but as like I'm continuing on with this, but no, I'm actually changing the subject. The cat wants to join me and I need to pee. I'll be right back. Come on. Come on. Come on, sweetheart. Here we go. Alright. Grendel is here now. So, for however long he wishes. You guys remember Oliver, the gray cat that appeared in some of my videos? He still lives with my parents and they're taking good care of him. He is, it hurts to say this, but he is no longer my cat because of this. I can't be with him as much as he would like me to, and he has since moved on from me. He does not shy away from me when I'm at my parents', though, thankfully. So he still recognizes me, but he no longer treats me with the same affection that he used to. Grendel here, however, has since stepped up to do so. They actually met back when Grendel was a kitten. He took all of the places that Oliver used to sit I think, in a sense, he sort of recognized that and stepped down, knowing that Grendel was now taking care of me. From a cat's perspective, they have to do everything for us, of course. Back to the point that I was making with my previous editor and creator versus the creation. I've always treasured the audience that views me more as a person than just as the things that I make. I always want people to follow me because they know me and they trust me in what I do, rather than just for what I make. It's contradictory, I know, because of the materialist platform that we're on, but I can be hopeful. That is, I suppose in a sense, that's how I can really help people more. If they can find, that's how I feel like I'm giving back to the world, in a sense, for all the good that has given me, and outweighing the bad, by being able to give some sort of answers to people who are needing them, even without them realizing it, I suppose, by just being sort of a mentor, I suppose. I don't know. What am I saying? Well, either way. The curse that I am afflicted with is that I can only sort of view things in other people as they have happened to myself, which makes me kind of egotistical. But I have gained help from watching other people and learning about those people and what they have done, especially creators like Markiplier, Ethan Nestor, Slimesicle. Those were a few of the big ones that inspired me to even start making things in the first place. There were others, of course, many, many others, but they were the main ones. I think it was right after Unasanas when I started to make something, because that was when I really viewed it as more than just videos. It's about the people and how we guide them, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't found the right words for that quote yet. I don't know where to go with this. I don't really want to make self-help content or anything like that. I don't really want to make documentaries because, I mean, I haven't found really anything interesting to deep dive into. I still want to be funny. I don't want to. The reason I don't want to make self-help content is because I view that as kind of unauthentic, because a lot of these channels that are doing stuff like that are doing it for the sake of earning a paycheck from YouTube. And at that point, it kind of feels not useful. I know that there are genuinely people to listen to that actually have something to give, but most of the people who peddle self-help content are kind of untrustworthy, for lack of a better word. Don't get me wrong, there are people who are genuinely qualified for this sort of content that I do listen to, like, for example, Healthy Gamer, Dr. K. That's his. That's who runs the operation there. But he is a genuine medical professional, and he knows what he's talking about. So I trust him in what he says, at least about mental health. I don't know his views on politics or anything like that, so I don't know. And I'm not gonna go into politics here. You cannot make me. I will say this though. In terms of like growth as a person, I've been pretty immature. I have not understood how the world works really until I have lived in it, and I try to be a good person. I firmly believe that people can be anything that they want to be. People have a right to pursue that, and that is an ineffable human right. I believe that people can push past the boundaries of what people think of them and what they are perceived to be by society's standards, and they can rewrite themselves. I believe just in the basic core laws of ethics like that, and growth in people, and being a better person, whether that is in form or in cognition. This is why I believe in trans rights. I believe in being racial rights. I believe in ableist rights. You know, everyone has a right to try to be a person. And everybody has a right to try and be the type of person that they want to be. How good. And if you shame somebody for that, if you try and hurt people for that, you are terribly misguided. And I hope that you get better. Alright, that feels good to say. My room is a mess. I have cans, bottles, all soda. Don't worry, I'm not an alcoholic. My Grendel's playing with a stray bottle cap from underneath my desk. I need to take out the trash. It's not that bad. I'm not like a hoarder or anything. It's just, I'm messy. I don't keep the best organization. My walls are kind of getting covered with motivational notes and things that I need to do. Only a few little things, things that I need to do. I'll take those down. It feels like every time that I make something that I'm talking about, or like a thought that I need to place up there, I just put it up there thinking, oh, yeah, I'll read this, and every time I look at it, I can have that thought again in my mind, and I'll learn it. And then I just kind of become blind to it after a while. It just becomes useless stimulus. It's the same with the mess in my room. But I am aware of it. I suppose that I've just trained myself not to look at it, to push it away. And that is not a healthy thing. I have not sufficiently given myself time to organize and clean, which is what I usually do when things eventually get unbearable. So I'm gonna try and organize a time to do that after I finish this video upon saying that. In fact, that's kind of what this video is. I'm organizing my thoughts for what I want to do in the future, how I feel about life, and my stance as a person, as a creator. Excuse me. I want to make things. I want to do a lot of different things because it's fun to do things. It's fun to learn new things, and it's fun to get better at doing things. And I want to view myself who's good at many things, and I want to view myself as a professional of making videos and that sort of thing, of a general genre, I don't suppose. I want to view myself as funny. I want to view myself as a loving and kind person. Actually, no, I don't want to just view myself as these things. I want to actually be these things. And I have a right to do so. I have a right to try, at least, calling back to that point. It's just difficult. It's difficult to make things. It's difficult to change yourself, to be more useful. It's difficult to fight against entropy. It's difficult to fight against masses building up. Difficult to organize yourself into something sharp to cut away against the fat that builds up in your grease pan. Odd metaphor, I know there. I've been doing a lot of dishwashing at work. It's not the only thing I do. I work in fast food, but dishwashing is like the main thing that they have me do because I am the fastest. Oftentimes I've tried to reach out to other creators to sort of ask them questions about how do they do it, how do they be more productive, how do they make things. But I can never get a hold of the big ones, and the small ones, they don't have the answers yet. So I'm kind of hesitant to try. It's kind of a bit of a problem with the small creators, or just trying to learn anything, I suppose. It's difficult to know where to start, and it's difficult to learn the scope of the entire thing that you're going to learn when you're small. Your eyes are as small as your body. Eventually, like the humble Agario cell, you will grow, and your eyes will get bigger, and you'll see how big the world around you really is, how little you actually know. Since moving out of my parents, and also since starting YouTube, the world has grown to such a tremendously huge thing. It's wonderful. Wonderful to think that I'll even completely understand even a single percent of it in my life. And for some reason, that's comforting to me. I kind of have the same way about, like, sort of eldritch horror and Lovecraftian sort of things. H.P. Lovecraft was a man defined by fear. I am a man defined by wonder. He was afraid of the everything outside of his knowing. I am curious by it. I want to know more about Azathoth, the dreamer. I want to know more about Yog-Sothoth, the seer, outside of time and space. These are not real, by the way, at least as far as we know. These are just Lovecraftian deities that I'm drawing examples from. Azathoth is the sleeper of the universe. The entire universe is his dream, and if he wakes up, then we all cease to exist. He is the penultimate godhead. And Yog-Sothoth is basically a scientist outside of time and space, outside of definition, who is just experimenting with people and giving them magic powers to see what happens. I want to look into the ever-expanding void to see what really is in there. I am an explorer. The prospect of doing new things excites me. The prospect of chaos excites me, to find order within that which we do not know, because I live in a world defined by order that we have found amidst the chaos. I am a scientist. I know to a degree how complex the world really is. And it is far more than what I can understand. But I'm still going to try. Because the idea of finding something new amidst everything that has come before me is fascinating. What will I find? Will I make something new that nobody else has ever thought of? It's certainly possible. And if I do, well, what will people build off of that? What new worlds will this unveil? What fascinations of the infinite will fill my mind? Of others' minds? My brother says I need to read more dictionaries, because I say things that aren't actually meaning anything, that I say words that I do not understand the true meaning of. I view it as it's not really about the words at that point, it's about the feeling behind them. The reason why I chose those words in the first place, to convey the sheer emotion that I have. Though, I do take his advice. I do try and learn new words. Words fascinate me. Stories fascinate me. Everything fascinates me. people especially fascinate me. And in fascination, I find beauty. Because that's what wonder is, I suppose. It's a mix of fascination and beauty. I suppose that's why I know I'll still keep making videos, even though it is tiring and I don't know how to do it, and I sometimes struggle with even starting to begin with. It's because I want to see how this goes. Because I've seen how it's turned out for other people. I wonder how my life will change from it. And I hope that I can change others' lives. As long as it doesn't turn out for the worse, that is important. Very important. But yeah, I want to see if I can better my life through it. And, in a sense, it already has. It's given me a chance to prove myself when I thought that there was nothing to prove, just like MatPat said on why he started YouTube. He was working as a stage director in New York, and he was between jobs, and he loved science and that sort of thing, and he wanted sort of his own show, so he started Game Theory that way to prove that he could do something. Markiplier also started his YouTube channel to prove that he could do something, because he needed to find something to do, as far as I can tell, because his life was kind of going down in the dumps at that point. So he needed something else to do, something that was purely him. And me, how I started was, I was faced with a question of, your current life is ending, what are you going to do with it from now on? What will it become? And so I chose this. And I'm happy with it. I don't think I could have picked something that is less me. I think that's good. We'll use that.